Warriors, what's good? It's been a little bit. Just wanted to check in with y'all for just a second. With all of these changes that are going on the daily, it seems, as of recently. So, really quickly, at the beginning of the summer, somewhere near the beginning of the summer, I made a little video just stating that there was going to be a lot of air and fire energy if we're talking astrology, and we're looking at the planets as energies and energies as behavior. In short, I had took some time out of my schedule to kind of see some of the alignments that were coming up because well, for me, I'm very sensitive to a lot of different type of energy, especially with the moon. Wasn't always like that, or maybe I wasn't always aware of it, but once I did become aware of like how the moon energy affected me years ago, I started paying attention to those things so that I can keep myself balanced. And in the beginning of the summer, I just told you there's going to be a lot of explosive things, and I just made some references to some of the things that happen with air and fire, more in particular, combustion, explosive, out of nowhere, things flying through the air that explode, things like that. And it seems as if we've seen quite a bit of that over the summer and of recently, the last couple of days. And the other thing that I mentioned was making sure that you stay grounded to be able to keep your emotions in check, because there were going to be narratives that were thrown at you, perspectives that were going to be pushed on you to program you to see things a certain way. Good, bad, or indifferent. It's just what it is. And over the course of the last year, this has been my whole thing about mind science, how important it is to be in control of yourself, to be able to see things clearly. Now, I'm not going to go through this whole tangent about everything I already said, but it just seemed like it's like very relevant, meaning this is only the beginning of some of the things that I just kind of feel in my heart that are coming to pass, or things that I've studied and I can see certain patterns that are starting to come to pass. And as you already know, there's a war against unity on every level. Unity within yourself, your conscious and your subconscious mind, within families, within communities, within cultures, within countries, so on and so forth. There's a war against unity on so many levels. And the one thing that I do know, people who don't have peace within themselves at a certain level are always going to be warring with everyone and everything else. Sadly, we don't have as many people doing the research to find truth, incredible information that we can make sound decisions on with a logical approach. A lot of very overly emotional individuals, men and women, all over the place, just trumped up on fallacies. And I guess my message is more or less to those that have an open ear, that are rational to a certain degree. And we're all human. Just do your due diligence not to get sucked up into a narrative that doesn't have anything to do with those who you care about immediately. To some degree, collectively, we know that, all things kind of like affect us all. But in the immediate sense, I see people making some very strong statements about the way they feel about certain things, which is okay, because you can do that. But you also have to realize, I have never in my life seen anybody that is aggressive that isn't met with aggression. It's just one of those things. I've never seen it. Eventually, aggression is met with aggression, you know. But also, you can't be weak and timid either, because you'll get ran over. So just use your discernment in all things, and, you know, try to stay grounded and come outside of the box so that you can see all situations for what they are with humility, because they'll give you a strength to be able to see things as they're supposed to be. You know, you may need to take more of a stoic approach in these things. Why is this even worth mentioning? Well, like I said, it's something that I feel like that's on my heart, and kind of has been on my heart in various degrees. And I'm always trying to talk to young people to ensure that they are having conversations with adults that are helping them develop critical thinking skills beyond the narratives that they're given, because they've grown up in this age of social media, you know, where anybody can be given the truth and there's no truth in that truth. Other reasons that I won't really get into, but I can just remember, you know, years ago, been in rooms with my mentor. I wasn't able to sit at the table yet. I wasn't at that level, but I was in the room where the conversations were being had. And it's just amazing to kind of see some of the things that were spoken about in those meetings that I was able to hear, how I can see some of these things playing out right before my very eyes. Maybe not the way I thought it would, but nevertheless, these things are coming to pass. So I think I'll leave it there. More or less coming back to you guys just to make sure that you're doing your job of taking care of you first, taking care of those things that matter to you the most, you know, people that are actually dependent on you, that care about you. Just stay right there, you know, and take a break from the world whenever you get a chance, however that may be, just to recenter yourself, to kind of come out of those vibrations that have some really strong influential pulls over, you know, all of our emotional states. But don't get caught up there. So I'm gonna leave it here. Hope to see you guys soon. I know I haven't made a message in a while, but that's because I'm revamping how I do things, because I'm going through transformations and seeing things from a different perspective, and, you know, understanding myself on a different level. So I'll just leave that at that. Till next time, just sending y'all a bunch of positive energy in waves, and just don't be robbed. Don't let your mind be robbed by something that don't really have anything to do with you. Be observant, but don't get caught up in it. Peace.